Today we will talk about something very important that we consider a foregone conclusion, but we cannot imagine how completely different the situation is and that everything you see could simply disappear in a very short time. Let's start talking about energy and how it shaped the global system that we live in today and how it will be the reason for its end.
Welcome to a new era of consciousness. Simply listen to what happens in the world.
First, let me tell you a story in the Republic of Kazakhstan, which was part of the Soviet Union at the time, in an area with oil called Kashagan, about 3 kilometers below the bottom of the Caspian Sea, in an area where wind speeds reach approximately 100 kilometers per hour. And in the winter, the weather is snowy, of course. So imagine if they built a station in the middle of the sea in this area to extract this oil. What would happen in the winter with winds of this speed, also laden with sea spray that would freeze this station and bury it under the snow? This area has the worst natural conditions in which oil can be extracted, in addition to the technical difficulties due to the nature of the crude oil found there, which needs very special treatment to refine it. All these conditions make extracting oil from this field and refining it require completely new technology and brilliant minds to find a way to overcome these natural challenges and technical problems. More than $150 billion were spent on developing and equipping this site, which is much more than Kazakhstan's secondary gross domestic product at that time. And 14 years ago, they were the first time they were actually able to extract oil from this field, which means that the cost of operating this field is considered the highest cost in the entire world. The important thing is that after extracting the crude oil from the field, it is pumped into pipelines for more than 1,600 kilometers to the Black Sea, where it is then loaded onto oil tankers and shipped through the Turkish Bosphorus Strait in the middle of Istanbul, and from there to the Suez Canal, and from there to the Red Sea, and then loaded onto other tankers to complete its journey for thousands of kilometers and pass through Pakistan, India, Vietnam, and China before reaching the final station in Japan. It is a very long road and the potential for problems and risks is very great because Kazakhstan has problems with Russia because it was previously affiliated with the Soviet Union before it fell and became independent. Turkey has problems with Russia and has entered into many wars with it before. Egypt's relationship with Turkey is not good, and Saudi Arabia has problems with Kazakhstan as an economic competitor in their oil industry. Now you also have the Houthis in the Bab el-Mandeb Strait. After that, you have Pakistan and India, which have many problems between them, and Vietnam and China, which also cannot stand each other, and China and Japan, which act like enemies too. Because of all the above reasons, we conclude that the route for exporting Kashagan oil is the most dangerous route in the world. So they are trying to find other ways to ship it other than by sea via oil pipelines through Russia to China. But here we will have another problem. You have a very long pipeline that passes through areas where the temperature reaches 4 degrees below zero in the winter, and other areas where the temperature reaches more than 40 degrees in the summer, and this will cause many technical problems. You see all these problems and complications because of them. It was impossible to benefit from Kashagan oil and export it to any other place on the planet without the current American global system, so you can understand why the world is worried about what is happening in the Red Sea by the Houthis now.
The important thing is that the American system provided the element of safety in shipping by sea because America took care of protecting these routes and securing them through its naval fleet. Before this system, any talk about extracting oil from Kashagan and exporting it was viewed as foolish because it was impossible. But as we said before, these conditions cannot continue, and that is why they will not continue. Our talk here is not just about the Kashagan field. This is just one field, but this is just an example of many like it around the world, and all of this is subject to collapse faster than you can imagine. The thing that will have terrifying effects on the entire world is energy in general and oil in particular. They are the basic things that made a big difference between our world today and the ages before the Industrial Revolution. Energy is what made the modern civilization. As for oil, it became something else, something whose effect was like magic on the path and speed of this development. Oil doubled our capacity and speed in shipping by more than 1,000 times than before. Electricity also had the same effect on our productivity in general, but basically without oil there is no electricity. For the first time in history, man was able to do whatever he wanted and go anywhere he wanted at any time. And without oil, this American global system would not have been established at all. And of course there would have been no cars, no international shipping of food products, no industry on a global level, and not even health and medical care. Literally everything was made using oil. Oil is simply what greatly reduced the influence of geography and its restrictions on our lives. But it did not completely prevent it, because oil itself does not necessarily have to be in places that are easy to reach, such as the Kashagan field, for example. That is why shipping oil from extraction areas to usage areas has always been the problem. Do you want to know how? So we need to rewind the tape and tell the story from the beginning. And that is what we will talk about in the next episode, God willing.